Hi, this is Mina, Nicole. Thank you for joining for another episode of Talk It Out Tuesday. On this Tuesday, I have Ariana Shannon with me, and we're going to be talking about inspiring creativity. Ariana, she's not only a business owner, but she is also one of my cousins, and she's joining us all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. And I have been posted on my social media page for the past couple of weeks or so, just about supporting family. There are so many businesses that I'm discovering at this stage in my family, different products and services that I can utilize. And this shirt that I'm wearing right now came from Ariana. She is also one of our sponsors, Noble Designs, along with All Inclusive Media. And again, it's all about working together, expanding our network, expanding our legacies as a community and as a family. So we do it together, we can do a lot. So we'll go ahead and get started with Ariana. Ariana, thank you for joining us all the way from Phoenix, 3-hour time zone. So I appreciate it. Yes. So how are you on today?
I am great. Thank you for having me on your show, Mina.
You are welcome. Thank you for joining. And can you just introduce yourself to our viewers and tell us about Noble and what inspired you to start your own custom design business?
Hi, everyone. As Mina mentioned, I'm Ariana, owner of Noble Designs. What started for me was I love to travel. And oftentimes I am one of those people who likes the group t-shirts and the matching outfits. And before I was constantly buying them from other people, which is great. I know a lot of great small businesses and I love supporting, but it was getting really expensive. So I decided, if I love them so much, why not just go ahead and start my own business? And then it branched off from t-shirts to birthday banners and custom mugs and cups and everything else. So, it really was my own passion for traveling and wanting to have something that was special to me that really pushed me out there and made me want to go ahead and start my own business.
Okay. And where did the name Noble Designs come from?
The name Noble Designs came from my grandmother. Her name was Zenobia, and it's a play on her name. I always felt like she had this amazing, adventurous, just beautiful, inspiring life. And I felt like if I was going to name a business after anybody, it was going to be something that I wanted my business to be just as successful as her 98 years of life were.
Wow, that is amazing. That's amazing. So, what products and services do you specifically offer to your customers?
So I do create my own shirts that I come up with. Like, as you can see over here, I have this sweater. It's a Love for the Culture sweater. It's custom made. I created the design, and that's one of my favorites. And then I have this Blacknificent shirt. I really do love enjoying doing things that support the culture, especially now. Everyone's so proud to be Black, and I love it. So I create things that really just inspire me. I do birthday shirts and, just if I love making people's visions come to life. So that's basically what I offer. If you have a vision, let's make it happen. Let's put it on a shirt. Let's put it on a banner. Let's put it on a mug.
I know that's right. Anything you can say, you can put it on the shirt.
That is right.
Yes. So were you thinking about opening or starting your own business prior to Noble?
I think like everybody, we all think about it, but none of us are actually some of us are just held back. We're holding ourselves back from making that step. And it is scary thinking that you're putting money into something and you don't know if it's going to be a success. You don't know if it's going to fail. And I would say that goes for me too. I was nervous. I didn't know if I was going to sell 100 shirts or one shirt, but I realized at the end of the day, I'm doing this because it's something I love to do. And if I make some money off of it, great. I just wanted to do it for myself, and it's been working so far. And I have customers who come back, and I try to provide a service that they want, and then they tell people, and it just brings more people in.
Okay. And what has helped you get through those challenges and that discouragement and fear when you first started?
I would say having people who are also, luckily for me, I have a village of people who are very supportive. My mom, I have you to lean on. I have friends who are in the exact same boat who've used this time, especially during the quarantine, to kind of branch out and start their own business. So we all lean on each other. We give each other advice. We talk to each other. And when you're in doubt, especially about your own creative abilities, it's always great to have those people who are giving you constructive criticism and just being encouraging during this time. And that's basically what has helped me get over it. And there are days where I still feel like I'm just not good enough. And, you see all these people who've been doing this for so long, and it just motivates you to want to continue on and just learn those skills.
All right. And how long have you been in business?
I would say I officially went into business in, I want to say March of 2020.
Okay.
So of course, I had orders for cruises and stuff, and COVID just threw a whole wrench in that plan.
That was the next question. So how did COVID impact your business, especially when you first started? Because you gave me this shirt or made it for me when I first started doing my Ground Zero business consulting workshops. And that was like in April or so. So that was around the time where you first opened and you said, hey, I would love to sponsor you just to kind of get my name out there. And I appreciate that creativity, that drive. I was talking to a vendor a few days ago, and he wanted to demo his item, which was like DJ equipment. And I'm talking to him and I'm like, if you're interested in demoing it during one of my events, feel free. And he was just like, no, not really. I'm like, you see, you missed the opportunity. It's not always about the money. It's about the relationship. It's about the promotion. Because if that would have picked up, that could have led to other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's definitely about the support. So just, again, thank you for being a sponsor. Check out Ariana shirts. But yeah, so going back to COVID, you started in March. The country is shut down mid-March. You had orders backed up. Just talk about that experience in itself. Like, what were you thinking?
You know what? First, I was thinking, what in the world was I thinking, right? It was the worst absolute time to go into business. But at the same time, when God has a plan for you, he got a plan for you. So that to me was an opportunity to be really creative. And then somebody said, hey, Ariana, I have an idea for a shirt. And I wanted to be centered around what's going on right now. I believe her daughter was turning 12, which inspired me to make a shirt. I believe it said, COVID crashed my party. And it was a hit. I think I made 12 of those in the last couple of months alone. And it was like hashtag locked up, they won't let me out. And, at that time, anybody who had a birthday between March and now are feeling the same sentiment about how they can't do anything, how, their plans were ruined. So to me, I found an opportunity in a situation that was not the greatest. And I think a lot of it was just having, like I said, that village around me going, this doesn't have to be it. Things are going to open back up, which, slowly they are, but just realizing you can't let yourself be discouraged by things because things are always going to happen. And I just kept pushing and I kept, creating, and I was taking this time to get my business off the ground, trying to get a website together and going, okay, so when everything is back to normal, you'll be ready to go. You won't have no excuses. You'll have a whole line of stuff lined up, ready to go. So people can just go and be like, this is what I want. I'm okay, I got it. So right. That's what I've been doing, creating.
and also during that time, you participated in some of the Ground Zero business workshops, starting from the bottom workshops that I actually hosted during that time. So that was a great time for you to kind of learn and refine what it means to start a business. And you attended the majority of the 7 classes, but what was one of the takeaways that you got as a starting business owner during that time that actually helped you with your business in the long run?
So first of all, thank you to Ground Zero Business for those classes. They were a large help, and I honestly wish I would have taken them prior to starting my business, because there was a lot of things that I spent money on that I felt like I could have researched myself had I had the knowledge and the tools that your classes taught me. So I will say, if you are getting ready to start a business, please, please, please just take a moment to listen to at least the first 3 classes, because they were so helpful in just learning ways to, you don't need all those resources that are out there. You are your own resource a lot of times, and it can save a great deal of money that you would think that you had to spend. I believe I probably spent over $500 just trying to get my LLC and everything else, and knowing that I could have did it for less than $100, is a real eye opener. And just learning how to get my business out there on the internet, knowing what words to use and how to get my views to my page, especially because right now I'm only on Instagram. So really understanding the power of social media and what I need to do to get my name out there.
That kind of leads into the next question too. So starting a business, a creative business in the market that's already saturated with creativity. There's Etsy, there's Instagram, there's Pinterest. So you have your pick of any designer to design your t-shirts. I use you, and I also have another vendor, Kneel Down Creations, that I use for my t-shirts as well. And I could just imagine the competition that's out there. It's the same way on my end with owning an event center. There's a million event centers, but you have to find your niche. So how did you manage to find your niche in the midst of all these other businesses, all these other t-shirt businesses, and just focus on your target market?
What I will say is what I learned in one of the 7 classes is if the market is saturated, that means there's a need for it. So because there's a need for what we have, there's a need for everybody who's doing it, because everybody has something that makes them different, whether it's their customer service or their speed of service, or I personally love doing shirts in bulk, where some people want to sell one shirt and be done. I love making shirts for large parties, cruises, birthday groups, you name it. And I think that's what it comes down to, is not necessarily thinking about it as an oversaturated market, but thinking as all you have to do is get your name out there to a few people who want to get your name out there to a few more people. And it may be oversaturated, but those people who value your work and value your business, they're going to come to you, and they're going to continue to come to you. And what I've created over the last couple of months is a group of people who want to do business with me. And as long as they continue to do business with me, I'll continue to be okay. And that is, to me, not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's great. And again, if they tell people, that just brings me more business. And if it's not for me, I do know a lot of other great people out there who are doing it. So there's enough for everybody to eat.
Right. And I think that's one of the important things to know about business, any business. And a lot of people are discouraged about getting into business because they feel, oh, it's enough event centers out there. There's enough people doing balloons out there. If you're on Instagram, there are so many people that's doing balloons and decorating and everything like that. But you have to remember that what's for you is for you. I might not be like Sally or anything like that owns an event center, but I own my lane, and I think that's important, owning your lane and knowing what your lane is, and when I'm on your Instagram page, I see a lot of your work as far as, representing the culture, representing current events that's going out there. I might not see that on other pages. So if I'm looking for a Black Lives Matter shirt or a Blacknificent shirt, I know where to go for that. Everybody might not be into that. So I like how you found your niche, but you're still open to doing other stuff as well too. And your customers definitely recognize that and appreciate that, which is why they keep coming back. Definitely. And as far as your products, I see, of course, you have some of your products back there in the back. Why have you chosen, I guess, to focus on, again, the current events, the unjust killings of Black men and women by police, and also Black Pride? So this is something that you wear proudly on your business page as well as on your personal page as well. Why is that something that you decided to do for yourself and your business?
I believe I have a daughter, who's grown up in this world. She's 9. She sees what's going on out there, and in times where, I tell people all the time, we came for a time where we relaxed our hair. I had to be straight to fit into corporate America, and I remember somebody telling me, if you don't straighten your hair, then you're never gonna be taken seriously. Well, then I'll create a business where people who look like me can be proud and do what they do and not have to change who they are or what they do in order to fit into somebody else's ideals. Because there's nothing, Black people are powerful people, we're a resilient people, and in spite of everything that's going on in the world, we just continue to rise up. And I will always be proud to, don a melanin thing shirt or be proud of my Blackness. And I want my daughter to be proud of that Black, her Blackness. And I want her to know that you can be Black, successful. You don't have to change who you are in order to fit into this world. So that's basically what it is for me. I mean, with everything that's going on, I think now is the time even more so to hone in on that and not be afraid to, shout it from the earth, from the heavens, and that's basically what it is for me.
And I think being authentic is one of the most important things, whether you work in corporate America or whether you're on your own business. One of the news anchors I like on World News Tonight, I saw her for the first time maybe a few episodes ago, and she had her hair curly. I was like, go girl. I mean, before it was always pressed, it was always straight, but I can see that she has come into her own, and she's like, you know what, it is what it is. This is who I am. And it's just so beautiful to see that people owning whatever culture it is, whether you're white, Black, yellow, green, Hispanic, or whatever, just own where you are, but just be authentic about it.
Unapologetically yourself.
Yeah, unapologetically yourself, because can't nobody beat you at being yourself.
Being you, exactly.
At all.
I agree.
And far too often we see people and other businesses trying to mimic what other people are doing. That's not the way to go, because that's not sustainable.
Right.
It's hard to try and pretend to be something that you're not for so long, know. And I had a speaker on here a while ago, Jameen Moton, and she was like, in business, you have to keep your eyes focused on what you're doing. You can be conscious of what's going on around you, but just keep your eyes focused on what you're doing so you don't get distracted, and I think that's important. If you do that, don't worry about what other people are doing. Just stay true to yourself. Everything else is going to work together in the end.
Right. And then I'm using current events, right? I'm currently in the midst of designing a shirt that says, "Oh, I thought somebody who wasn't going to vote said something," because it's current. That is what, especially my generation right now, that is the thing we're saying. So why not market it? Why not use it? Why not use it to get people out there to think, oh, okay, you're right. Let me go out and vote. I don't care who you're voting for, but your vote and your voice matters. And right now is the time to make sure that it's being heard.
I totally agree with that. By any means necessary. By any means necessary. You definitely have to get that message out. And I saw on your Instagram page last month, back in August, as well as back in July, you participated in different peaceful protests, whether it was in Phoenix and Washington, D.C., in response to the police brutality that resulted in the death of Black men and women. So how was that experience, and what inspired you to go out there and just be amongst other like-minded people when it comes to the protests?
Whew, you're gonna make me cry. It was powerful, just knowing that not even 67 years ago, Martin Luther King sat in that very same spot and gave his "I Have a Dream" speech. And while I feel like we've come a long way since then, we still have a long way to go in equality and the fight for equality for all people, not just Black and brown people. We think about all the people who just got the right to get married to whoever they want, and And that affects everybody. There is no racial ties to that, and it's like in America, we're supposed to be free. We're supposed to be the land of the free. And, I've been reading comments on Instagram just on the NFL's website alone. And I'm hearing comments like the Black National Anthem. They got a Black National Anthem in 2020. Y'all, that song's been around 120 years. Like, that's not new. Just because you're hearing it for the first time doesn't mean it's new. And then instead of being angry that there's a Black National Anthem, let's think about the reasons why there had to be one in the first place. And until we start realizing why we're here, and they're like, oh, we're just creating more division. This country's built on division. It is literally the founding purposes of this country is division. And until we start recognizing that, that's what the atrocities of this country, we're never going to be able to move on. We're never going to heal. We're never going to be able to come together as a nation. And that's not Republican or Democrat or liberal. That's just human decency, because saying Black Lives Matter and really believing it isn't political, it's factual. So that's why I was out there. I was out there because I'm passionate about everything. I did the run with the mod, and just when you stop, you just felt this heaviness, like that could have been it.
Right. And I applaud all people, the millennials that's really driving the movement, the Black Lives Matter movement. I just applaud everyone that's out there that's basically taking a stand in regards to the protests, in regards to injustice. I mean, it's just a phenomenal thing to see how everybody, again, Black, brown, purple, whatever, that's coming together for one cause. And I applaud you as well. I love looking at your Instagram and all your social media pages to see that you're out there. I'm like, yeah, that's my cousin. I really do. And it just warms my heart to know that people care,
Right. Sometimes you got to fight one pandemic to end another.
Yeah. And in the midst of all of that, you're still managing to run your business, and of course raise your daughter as well too. So you definitely have a lot going on and being able to balance all of that. So
the power of a Black woman.
Yeah. I know. So what is one of the things that you would love viewers to know about Z Noble Designs?
We are here. We're here to serve you. I ship all over the U.S. I've even shipped to Belgium. I'm here to just provide that creative spark, that something special to your day, whether it's just a custom banner, a shirt, whatever it is. I'm here. I love speaking to my customers. I love, creating those relationships, those long-lasting relationships with everyone who purchases from me. Like I said, if you need anything, if we can put it on a surface, let's do it.
I like that. And what is something that you would like to say to the millennials that's interested in starting a business that might be hesitant about creating their own niche in the market?
Just do it. If anything, you'll always have somebody out there that's going to support you. And if you let, naysayers or whatever, your own self stop you, you're going to spend more time wondering what if, and it's better to have tried and failed than to have never tried at all. So you might as well just go out there, start your business, start little. You don't even have to do anything. I do most of my work from my kitchen table. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a building. I don't have a big old, warehouse. I think a lot of times as millennials, we get caught up on what we see on social media and these boutiques that have, 1 million followers or whatever. They had to start somewhere too. So as long as you're relentless in your efforts, you'll become a quote unquote overnight sensation.
And I can personally say I have witnessed Ariana at her kitchen table during the Ground Zero business workshop. She would be at her table creating something. I mean, it never failed. Every session she was at the table hard at work. And that says a lot to me as a consumer with you, as well as as your family. You know, that shows the dedication that, yeah, I'm listening, but I'm still working at what I need to be doing. And,
Yeah.
and it's just a matter of taking pride in what it is you're doing and caring about your product, you know, but still caring about yourself enough to get whatever education is out there to improve your business.
And I will say, I mean, even now, because I'm still trying to learn my trade, if somebody orders a shirt, I'll throw in a banner. Why? Because I want them to know, one, that I do them, and then it gives me practice. You know, sometimes it's okay to throw in an extra something just to get people to be like, oh, you do this too? Okay. So I didn't order it this time, but I know for next time. And, you know, cake toppers, that's how I got into cake toppers. Somebody wanted a shirt. So I was like, let me put together a cake topper for her real quick to match her shirt. Let me put together a birthday banner for her, because you know, in the beginning of COVID, I wasn't getting any customers. So to show appreciation, just go out there. Sometimes a little extra does go a very long way.
And again, that's something that a lot of people don't get. A lot of people don't get, and is always not about the money.
Right.
The money is going to come. I mean, even in my business with my customers, you know, sometimes I throw in something a little extra because I think that help their event come together more, you know. And like I said, next time they'll say, maybe I'll add that to my package, you know. But at the end of the day, it's about relationships.
Right.
It's about relationships, because those relationships, they'll bring you the money, you know. But sometimes as business owners, we're just so tight with everything. We don't want to give anything for free. And going back to the guy who wanted to demo his DJ stuff, and I'm like, listen, if you leave it here for 1 or 2 events, we can see how it works. Let people see what it is, you know. And he just refused to do that. So I'm like, okay, that lets me know where you are in regards to your business. When I first opened Elegant and Cage's, my cleaning lady, she was like, let me clean your business for free so I can show you how much I love to clean. And that lady's still cleaning my business 6 years later.
Right.
So,
It is.
I mean, yeah, don't focus on it right now. You got to look at down the line. You know, that's definitely important as well. And if there is someone that wants to get in the custom design business, I have a few people I know who are at different stages of the business. What would you recommend, or what encouragement or tip that you would like to give those that are considering it but just don't know how to go about it?
I would say don't be afraid to mess up. You are going to go through a lot of material the first time around. You know, it's a lot of trial and error. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. There are people out there who are literally giving out free information. You know, don't be afraid to ask questions. Reach out to the people you know that are doing it. Even people you don't know, you'd be surprised how helpful people are. Crafters love to stick together, and this is crafting. So if you have questions, they're willing to help. If there are those classes at Michael's, Joanne's, you know, just really use the resources that are out there, because they can go a long way. Be creative. Don't be afraid to put it out there, because somebody's always going to love what you do. And again, if you don't get 9 million likes on social media or whatever, you know, market outside of your friend group. I know social, Instagram especially, you can pay for advertisements. You can market to, you know, people all over the world for as low as $10. I think $1 a day for 30 days, that's $30, and you can reach thousands of people. So those are the things I would do. Just kind of get out there, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and don't hold yourself to unrealistic standards.
I like that, unrealistic standards. That's really good, and that's really important. So Ariana, how can viewers get in contact with you if they want to purchase a shirt or a mug or a cake topper or even a banner from Zenoble?
You can find me on Instagram at ZNOBLEDESIGNS. That's Z Noble Designs on Instagram. I have a website coming soon, so the link will be on my Instagram if you need it. You can email me, znobledesigns@gmail.com. I look at it every day. I will respond within 24 hours, if not within 5 minutes, because I do keep my business phone on me at all times. And just find me on social media. I'm trying to get back on Facebook, you guys. I know it is important to be on the book. It has been a long road for me. Mina has been trying to get me to get back on forever, but for whatever reason, they're being real difficult with my business page. So once I'm out there, I will link all of my social medias to my Instagram.
And can you mention your email address again? I think the Wi-Fi cut out a little bit.
Yep, that is Z as in zebra, Noble, Noble designs. That's DESIGNS @gmail.com.
And we will have all of Ariana's information at the end of this broadcast. And Ariana, thank you so much for sharing your talent with us today. Thank you so much for inspiring creativity. Hopefully there's someone out there that's looking to start their t-shirt business. I'm actually working with one of my former students and one of my t-shirt vendors too, to do a creative workshop with different vendors. Because again, I talk to people all the time that are at different stages of creativity. So it's just a matter of bringing everybody together. Everybody can learn, everybody can share something. So thank you, Ariana, for joining me once again. On the next Tuesday, we'll be talking about inspiring hope. So definitely tune in for that. Thank you all always for joining another episode of Talk It Out Tuesday. I am Nicole, and we will see you on next Tuesday.